I don't have the agenda in front of me, but I remember it vaguely. I think the first one is, Ton, help me out, is the Mekong Stories. Or what's the first? Okay. All right. So the Mekong Stories is a new project that we're looking to do. And this is a tremendous opportunity, I think, for all Experience Mekong Collection members. We give a priority to Experience Mekong showcases, but really this is not to limit it to Experience Mekong showcases. I think, Tom, we're going to talk about the Mekong deals a little bit later. You know, this is still about Mekong Stories. So really what we want to do with Mekong Stories is, I think we have a pretty tremendous and amazing community of small responsible travel businesses in the region, which includes some great social enterprises and micro entrepreneurs. And what we want to do now is, we have realized that really the potential of this alliance, if you so will, is the stories and the initiatives that have been created. So I just mentioned Ton and I about, I think, 6 weeks ago already, we've been to Anurak Lodge in southern Thailand, and we saw some of the tremendous and amazing experiences that have been created there. Also, you know, there are stories that are being told. So either this could be the story of the founder, or the story of an employee that came out of a village and now, you know, really has been able to support his family and send his, you know, daughters and sons to school, university, or has really built a career. I mean, there's some amazing stories out of Shintamani, where people come, are being trained and now are general managers in hotels. We have amazing stories out of Fair Cambodian Circus, where some of these kids are now performing all over the world. We also have stories from guests. You know, I've heard a story where a lady, I think she had cancer, and her wish was to swim with a dolphin. So these stories are very emotional and inspirational, but these are the stories that really build the Experience Mekong collection. So what we have decided is to really create a platform called Mekong Stories, to unleash these initiatives, unleash these stories, and tell them to the world. So it's a whole different way of promoting a destination. On one hand, building the brand, you know, the Experience Mekong brand, 6 countries, 1 river, unlimited experiences via these Experience Mekong collection businesses. And now inspiring people also via these stories and via these initiatives. So what we're trying to do now is to collect the content, to ask all of the members, and we're going to send out an email very shortly, to share these initiatives. You don't have to write a long essay, but, you know, just basically what are some of the initiatives that you're doing. Also initiatives during COVID-19. Maybe there's some unique initiatives that have been created, some innovations that have been created to get through this this challenging time. And then these stories, you know, so I'm sure, I mean, I've talked to Willem once, you know, some time back, and every one of you, I think, has some amazing stories to tell. You know, if it's from the owner, if it's from guests, if it's from staff, or just some of the other stories with the community and the residents. We want to hear all of them. Obviously, we can't guarantee to showcase all of them. But what we want to do is we want to first publish an ebook where we can really tell these stories, and also have a lot of pictures that go with it to really make it very visual and inspirational, and then build a accompanying website as well, and potentially also do video interviews as well. So it's a whole new platform, a whole new initiative, and we believe that it can really revolutionize destination marketing, destination promotion, and drive sustainability, but also inspire people then to come and visit the destination after, you know, the borders open again and travel resumes. But with domestic tourism, I think it can already inspire local people, residents, expats, to go to experience these places. So this is something we're looking to do. Also, if any of you have some ideas to make this project better. And also if some of you maybe have know of some potential funding partners as well, because obviously right now we don't have any funding. It just comes out of passion that we're doing this. But if we have some funding, obviously it'll make things easier to get some more support and some resources behind it. So I quickly want to open it up. If there's any questions or any comments or any ideas, feedback about this project. If you do speak, you have to unmute yourself. Any thoughts, Peter? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'd just like to say, I think it's a really good idea, Jens. I mean, you know, when I did my master's, we were looking at ways to actually successfully market sustainability, because marketing sustainability as sustainability wasn't really working. And one of the things which Xavier Font, who was my supervisor and a really smart guy who's done lots of work on, you know, how do people actually respond to sustainability messages and what works. Yeah, you know, he's a real believer in sustainability has to be sold through stories. We have to make stories which are attractive and inspiring and interesting and fun, and also kind of on the side teach people things, but things which they might not necessarily think that they want to know. So they'd have maybe a bias against listening if it was presented in an ordinary teaching way. But when it comes in as a story and makes them smile and make them laugh, then they kind of get the lesson, you know, through the process.
No, thank you. And again, if let's say your supervisor from your master study, you know, also wants to get involved, has some ideas, please invite him. You know, this is a very inclusive project. It's a little bit of an experiment. I don't think it has really been done in this way or form anywhere globally. I mean, obviously there are a lot of destinations that do storytelling in different ways, but I think we're doing it in a very collaborative and inclusive way, and doing it bottom up. Whereas normally these projects are top down, where people hire an agency and it comes from the destination, and then some stories are being told. But we're really looking to have it bottom up, powered by the businesses themselves, by the entrepreneurs, by the passion that fuels it. So from that standpoint, I think it is unique. But we need all the support, obviously, from everyone to make this happen. And I think if we are able to make it happen, I think we have a very unique and powerful platform to sell to sell destinations, and not just the Mekong region, but also if it's just, you know, Hua Hin as a micro destination. I mean, just thinking of Peter, but if it is southern Thailand, if it's Bagan and so on, because we have experienced Mekong Collection members all over there. So I mean, people are not saying, okay, I'm just going to go to the Mekong region, but I might go to Bagan, I might go to Chiang Mai, I might go there. And what are the stories? What are the communities? What are the people I want to connect with? You know, maybe I want to connect with this front desk person at this hotel, or this waiter at this restaurant, you know, who comes out of a village. I want to meet that person because I've been so inspired by the story. So this is what we're trying to achieve. And then also the initiatives, because I mean, just having been at the Anurak Lodge, I mean, the initiatives that are being done there with replanting trees, I think is very unique. But normally, you know, yes, I mean, now we have a listing of over 300 businesses, but these stories and these initiatives are almost like hidden. They're there, but they're hidden. And so we want to bring them to the front, you know. Maybe, I mean, I don't know who's on the call right now, but I know Willem is on the call. Maybe Willem, if you have some ideas or some feedback as well, and how to make it happen.
Yeah, thanks, Jens. Yeah, I think it's a great initiative to tell stories in general. Is a great idea to bring across what you're about, in particular this experience making collection, because this is really about experiences, right? And of course, there's a product behind the experiences, but you know, the experience is more what you need to talk about than the product itself, I guess. In particular, when you mentioned Anurak, the reforestation project, and that's a good example. I mean, the product is planting a tree, not very exciting. you did it, Jens. You know,
it was exciting for me.
Well, there you go. You're easily excited. So, but the story behind it is much bigger, because you include, Foru, which is the university-based reforestation unit. You include them in the story. You include what it is that we're doing, replanting, reforestation of a former oil palm plantation, the problems that oil palms have in the region. So there's a big story behind it. And having a look at the other Experience Mekong Collection members, I think every member has a story like that to tell. So beyond their initial product, which can be selling a room, another very boring thing, selling a room. Yeah. I mean, Peter just spent 14 days in a room. He knows how boring it is. So, but for when it comes to the Experience Mekong Collection members, it is much more than a room. It really is about the experience. I think a number of the smaller members may need a little bit of help setting that up, because I know from my experience that it is pretty difficult to find, if it is something that you do for a very long time by yourself, say for example where you are now, Jens, on that mulberry farm, it may be a little bit difficult for the people around you to describe it in a way that it is different. They will probably likely more describe, yeah, so we sell mulberry smoothies, which clearly is not really what it is about. You're not going to go there to drink a mulberry smoothie. You go for the experience. So they probably need a little bit of help with that. So maybe a few, maybe 10 or so members who are maybe a little bit more experienced with this can start, or mentor. Maybe you can mentor a few with the more experienced marketing members, and who can mentor maybe some of the less experienced Mekong Collection members, and generate these stories.
I think that's a great idea. I mean, what we're planning to do from a process standpoint is to send out this email, and obviously, I mean, first ask people to come back to us that have a story to tell and want to share that story or an initiative. So that already, brings something. And then also offer that, we can interview them. We also work with a professor from Bournemouth University out of the UK. She's on her sabbatical right now, and actually is doing a lot of work in Southeast Asia. She's a Korean lady. So she is helping and working with us on this project as well. And then myself and Ton are also able to then call people and interview them if it's a little bit harder. But if people say, yes, I have stories to tell, please call me, then we can talk to them and see how we can get these stories out. I like the mentorship idea. Because, I mean, in your case, Willem or Peter, I mean, a lot of these Experience Mekong Collection members, and also the ones that have great stories to tell, but they may not be able to tell the story. They promote a product maybe, but that's not the story. You're absolutely right. We're actually not talking about the product at all. This might be, about, as I said, a guest that had this life dream to see a dolphin, and that was enabled by this business, and it changed that person's life. Or it's about that employee that has this opportunity to work in the hotel, and so it has nothing really to do with the product, but these emotional stories. That's what inspire people, and that's what people want to see and connect to. So you're right. I mean, I think that's something. Bernie, I see here. Bernie, you have a comment?
Hi. I do, yeah. Hi, everyone.
You're a storytelling master, so you can probably help us a lot on this.
I was going to say, I think it's a really good idea, because we've done this quite a bit on our online magazine, and we were hoping to do a hardback sort of coffee table book at some point this year, but that's been postponed. But the point is, the most popular pages on our website are normally the magazine pages where we try and tell stories like the ones that you're talking about today, and initially we began sort of speaking to the movers and shakers of Myanmar tourism and getting their perspective on what's going on in Myanmar. And then later on, we kind of shifted that to actually speak to the people at the grassroots. So, the chambermaid of a hotel, or the receptionist, or a trishaw driver in Dalat. And sometimes I was conducted in Burmese and translated, and sometimes it was done in English, but they're really popular. And like Peter was saying, you can get messages across about, in Myanmar, where it's had a very reputation in terms of Rakhine State, and a lot of people saying one shouldn't go to Myanmar because of the politics. Telling these stories about the good that tourism can do and the wealth generation that tourism can engender are a nice way of making the argument that Myanmar should still be visited. And some stories with these young Myanmar workers in hotels are the most pages on our site. And so they recognise when or whoever it is from and it connect to today. So I think stories like this of getting our idea for responsible tourism, but also for marketing a destination itself and getting people excited about going somewhere. So, my full backing.
No, thank you. And I think you make also a great point, because there are existing stories already. I mean, you have some in your magazine and blog and so on. And we're also potentially looking to do a printed version, let's say. I don't know if we're going to go as far as a coffee table book. I mean, and in the end, I mean, you're looking to do something like that for Myanmar, but then partnering with people like you. And then I know Willem, just to as an example, has a great blog with Kiri Travel, where also stories are being told. And it's a great blog, and there are other ones as well. So, I mean, in the end, yes, we have these Experience Mekong collection businesses, and we want to unleash these stories, but we also have a lot of existing content as well. So, I mean, and working with partners, let's say like Birdie, like you in Myanmar, with Willem, and with all the Kiri offices, and then maybe EXO and other tour operators that create content already. Because yes, I mean, our resources are small. We just see the potential, and we need to find ways to get it done. We are able probably to interview a maximum of around 20 to 30 businesses. I mean, interview, and then maybe a few more to get. But if we already have existing content, and to Willem's point earlier, that also inspires people. What are we actually looking for? And exactly what we're looking for, Birdie. So I mean, some of these content then also helps people not to kind of promote a product, which is not a story, but maybe it's by them being perceived as a story. And we also don't want to disappoint people if they send us stuff and saying, "Oh, we don't accept it," and they're like, "Why not?" So I mean, having some good examples, I think would definitely help. Great. No, thank you for that, and thank you for your support. I mean, we'll definitely come back to you. You may regret what you just offered, but who do we have here? We have someone else popping up. Any other comments? You have to unmute yourself.
Hi,
first.
This is John here from Anantara Golden Triangle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. I'm just wondering, not that I know anyone, would you look to find a journalist or someone who is trained in telling these stories to do the interviews? It just strikes me it might be something that I don't know if there's a journalist around the country or someone who's.
Well, there are. And we know many of them. I mean, Vincent is one, and he writes for a lot of magazines. The problem is we just don't have the budget. I mean, we are a really low budget operation, which many of you know, and maybe many of you don't realize. So yes, ideally, I would love to go to a journalist and pay them what they need to get. They may give us a discount, but they still can't do it for free. I haven't found a writer yet that would do it for free, because that's their livelihood. So yes, if I could, I would. But I think at this point, we just need to kind of go back to more creative ways, like interviewing people ourselves and hoping that people can send us content and maybe leveraging existing stories, as Bertie just mentioned. But to your point, I totally agree. I would do it if I had the budget to hire a journalist to get really professionally get these stories told. Any other comments?
I think, okay, if we want to make this something which has a particular tone, like it really feels like this is a series. So I'm thinking about Humans of New York, for example. I'm not sure if any of you are familiar with Humans of New York, but like this guy then went to Humans of the World, and he makes this Facebook post, which are only probably about 200 words long. And he's gone all over the world, so there's a lot of diversity and variety, but still he manages to maintain a certain tone, okay, which is, this is the voice that we're getting to know. And, you know, even though actually the writer himself isn't the center of attention, the person that's telling their story is the center of attention, but somehow he's managed to create this feeling or this tone, you know. And I think this is something which is really important for us to think, okay, you know, okay, what is the tone that we want to have? It might emerge organically, but it would be quite cool looking at this Zoom screen, okay, you know. An idea that I have is, because we don't have much time, but it could be something quite fun, like, you know, Willem, one time Willem interviews Bertie, and another time Bertie interviews John, and then the next time, you know, Ton interviews somebody else, but we all kind of agree on like what the tone is going to be. So then everybody gets a chance to share the work, right? But it doesn't go off on thousands of different tangents, and it has a kind of coherence. So that's one idea. We can all basically take turns at interviewing and being interviewed, you know. But yeah, something.
I love that idea, and that would also make it strengthen the community itself, you know, where we're all in this together, and we all know each other somehow, some more than others and stuff, but it also gets to know each other better and strengthen the community. I love that idea. I know Humans of New York, and actually, in fact, to be honest here, when I first came across Humans of New York, I think probably around 5 years ago or so, that's actually when I had the idea of doing something like Mekong Stories. Obviously, it has evolved, and also Humans of New York has evolved. But I think the point you're making is a good one. Is number one, it has to have a certain tone, but it also should be fairly short, you know, because we don't want to have academic type stories that go on for 5 pages. People don't want to read that, you know, they want to have snippets, and it's all about these snippets, a quick initiative, and then maybe I can link to somewhere to read more, you know, if it's available. But I think in the end, you know, we want to make it very, you know, point-based, you know, so I mean, really inspiring people with more visual content, and then have some content behind it where these stories are being told. So I think that's great. And I agree with both of your points for sure.
Hey, Jens, should be a good idea to just create parameters. So say, for example, the article, you know, needs to be between 500 and 600 words, for example. So people know exactly what it is, and maybe even a little bit more parameters and saying like, well, you know, what you need to talk about and not need to talk about, type of things. So at least give these parameters, and then, like I said, maybe start with a few of us who have maybe marketing department or something else, or writers who can set the tone for it, if you will, literally, and then get on. I also do like the interview idea of Peter quite a bit. But maybe that will go in practice a little bit too slow. So maybe we can have 2 of these things going on concurrently. So we have either it will be an interview format, which will, I would say, if we do an interview format, we stick to the same questions. I think this is being done in other type of interviews as well. I think Sustainability Leaders does that same concept, basically the same questions. Although, for example, you can have a list of 20 the same questions, and you can choose 10 of them to go for. So it can be monitored a little bit, but that will facilitate interviewees and interviewees to kind of like, okay, I like these 10 questions, and you can just basically do it without an actual online interview, because that will take time. But I like the idea of it being kind of like a formalized interview between between experienced Mekong members. I like that a lot. By the way, we have Chris Kingsley online here as well. He's below me on my screen, and he has got many things to mention as well in Myanmar. Fantastic stories about conservation and including the community in preparation for building of the lodge and stuff like that. So, there's really, really great stories there as well. I think it's important as well. And Jens, I think you need to be the arbiter of this, that we hear just as much from the smallest members as we do from the biggest members, or, the deeper pocket members. Let's put it like that. I think that is important in order to get that full palette that EMC actually has.
No, thank you, Willem, and I agree. I think it needs to be some parallel processes. So I mean, some people may email us something, some people we may interview, some people, the community members can interview, and we have existing content. And then this is why we brought this university professor also to the table to help, kind of put one tone behind it. So I mean, yes, she promised me it won't be academic, and she knows how to not be academic, which was a bit of my concern. But I think having someone who kind of can edit all this stuff is important. And she's very passionate about Southeast Asia and in this region and small businesses. I think she's great. And but to your point, I mean, having marketing departments, having some resources that are already in the community, in the collection, I think that'll be good as well. And I know Ton is taking notes, and I think all these ideas will put together to have a template together, have the right questions, the same questions, maybe have a few examples what we want. We're also, which I didn't mention before, we're working on our own technology where we can also then use a very unique way of telling stories via visual content, where you would upload various pictures, and then any business can tell. So almost like it's powered by Invoke, so similar to Mekong Moments and Mekong Memories, but for storytelling. So we purposed our technology a little bit, so we're working on that a little bit too. But that's a little bit in the future. So that's why we wanted to start with the current ebook first. Any other comments from someone else?
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Jason. How are you?
Yeah, it's been a long time, and I'm driving the highway. Just 5 minutes ago, I just came into the highway. But anyway, I have some feedbacks on your initiatives, because I think it's a great idea to be including the personal stories into the collection, into the memories and stories as well. So I'm totally agree with your initiatives about including the stories. And also, I have two feedbacks on this. First of all is the platform. In the very beginning of the Mekong collections, the Mekong memories, and some other ideas, we do like a hashtag thing. So if we want that are popular to the audience, so which platform are we talking about? The audience is the first one. Personal stories are very powerful because of its everlasting power, that if this story was being told and it's there. So I think it's a great initiative. I totally support you. Yes. And I also envy you that you are now in Chiang Mai. and I wanted to go back now, but because because the quarantine and also the possibly not safe to be on board on the flight, but I will be coming back soon, maybe by the end of this year. I will be. So
Great.
see you there. And
Thank
also,
you, Jason.
I wish to speak to you in Thai.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. You were breaking up.
I want to speak to you. Hopefully, I want to talk to you in Thai language.
Oh, okay. Next time when you come, we'll talk in Thai. But thank you, Jason. Don't get into an accident. Thank you, and we'll be in touch.
Okay, it's very safe now. Yeah, I'll listen to you. Continue.
Okay, good. Any other comments from someone else before we move on?
Yes, please. Please unmute yourself and introduce yourself a little bit. Thank you. We can't hear you yet. Please unmute yourself.
Do we have somebody else?
Yes. Can you unmute yourself, please? Maybe we can probably move on first, Jens, and we can go back to her.
Okay, great. Well, thanks for all the comments. So we will communicate about this project. This again is a project which is will be within the Destination Mekong framework of initiatives. So it's a public-private partnership. Just to explain a little bit, I mean, there might be some confusion. The Mekong Tourism Coordinating Office is the secretariat of the 6 member countries, so it is government. And Destination Mekong we established to really have these initiatives that also bring sustainability, but bring in the private sector, also the public sector. I mean, we're working on some with let's say TAT and so on, but there is obviously a church and a state almost like division, where on one it's government, it's secretariat, and then on the other hand, Destination Mekong is really about the initiative and about engaging with really the industry. So just I know there were some questions from people what the difference is. Ton, what's the next agenda item?
It's about the EMC webinar series, Jens.
Hello.
Okay. Yes, hello there. Okay.
Yeah.
Who are you?
I would like to introduce myself. Yeah, I'm Chanteng Sivila from Lao Disabled Women Development Center. Yeah, thank you very much to join with you. Yeah, this is our organization. We provide vocational training to women with disability, and we have a shop and we have a product to sell. We promote women with disability to work product from women with disability they're making. Yeah, that is we are very lack of opportunity to export to other country, because in my country we difficult to export. Transportation very expensive, and we could not send a product to other country. We sell product only customer come to our country and buy and bring by themselves. Yeah, that is a very difficult. We have a few transport, but how to do that? I would like to learn with you how to export product, how to promote product.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Before we move to the next thing, I just saw the chat from Peter as it relates to sustainability leaders. I know Florian very well. He's a friend Obviously, I think he's doing some great stuff, and maybe I'll even contact him to see if he's willing to collaborate with us on this. He's always very open with new ideas. But obviously, I mean, his interviews with sustainability leaders, and some of us, I think, have been featured by him. I think that's almost too long of an interview. I see it more, you know, as Peter's examples of Humans of New York. It's a snippet, short stories with visual content that people really can breathe through and get inspired. And then there might be some more content available if people want to read more, you know. Great. So as it relates to the Experience Mekong collection webinars, so just to explain a little bit as well, we want to continue these webinars, and what's unique about them is that this initiative really features businesses, you know, so it's almost like connected to Mekong Stories in a way, but obviously different. So what we want to do here is that we select around 2 businesses per webinar, could be 3, but we've seen that it becomes a little bit tight. And these businesses they tell the story, you know, not so much what they do, but really about how they're going through this pandemic right now, what of innovative initiatives have they created, some of the stories. So we're looking to open this up, not just to Experience Mekong Collection members, but also to the general public, you know, because we've seen that a lot of people are interested in these small businesses, and there's really no other webinar out there, to our knowledge, that really features small business stories, especially during this pandemic. So this is something we're going to continue. We're going to open it up to the general public. So if any of you want to be a featured business, we've done one so far with 3 businesses, where the time I think was a little bit tight. I think John Roberts was on it. We had someone from China on it, and some from Myanmar, if I remember correctly. So again, anyone who's interested, please contact Ton or myself. Don't make it that you're promoting your company. Don't promote it. Don't make it as a marketing pitch. I mean, anything that I can find off from your website shouldn't be told. It's really about, you know, what experiences have you seen during this pandemic? What initiatives have you created? What stories are there to tell? This kind of stuff, you know. But I think this is something that we want to continue doing. Not sure if there's any comments on that. If there are, otherwise we move on to the next agenda item. So if you have a comment, just put a quick chat notice in the chat, and then Ton will give you the floor. If you don't have any comments now, then what's the next agenda item?
The next one is, I mean, I can take over a little bit for the few things from here, because it's all about, I mean, like the housekeeping and back-end system. So first of all, I mean, thank you very much for attending today. So I would like to ask from you all to kind of checking the information and if you have any updates or additional information on both experiencemekong.com and the mekongtourism.org website on your profile, please contact me. I can, for example, I can update you the pictures or information or related information that kind of like you want to. And also, I mean, right now we are working on the database system with our members. So I would like to ask you all to put us on your newsletter system in order to get the latest updates from your standpoint. So I mean, I can basically update or kind of like put the right information on the profile from the newsletter things. And also,
so what's the email for that? It was
I can type on the chat.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, I'll type on the chat, and then you can just update and put us on the newsletter system. And also right now, if you all still have some projects about the fundings or donations going on, please send me to update on the experience, the support experience Mekong collection member page on the mekongtourism.org. We are still running the page to spread the word out and help our members during the pandemic time, because basically some of the members, I mean, they don't tell the stories or those projects on the website, but sometimes they put on the newsletter and it's not really out there. So we want to help them to promote what they are doing or what they are, I mean, like asking for the funding or donation to help their employees or to help their businesses during this time. So these all are from my standpoint, Jens.
Okay, good. So maybe finally, we'll quickly talk about Mekong memories and Mekong deals. I don't know if Garrett is on the call. I think I saw him to be on the call.
I'm on the call, yeah.
Good, yeah. Okay, so I'll start very quickly and then I'll turn it over to you, Garrett. So as many of you probably have heard, we announced it officially at the Destination Mekong Summit a couple of weeks ago. I mean, Willem is one of the founding or launch partners of this project. So the mekongmemories.com and the mekongdeals.com websites are live now. We are still working a bit on the back-end system. And the reason for that is that the back-end system very uniquely will provide marketing automation services for all the members. And how the system works is that, you know, everything will be integrated. So when you sign on for free and register for free on Invoke, which is our technology platform, then you will have access to the back-end system, which will give marketing automation tools and services, including being able to do a social media campaign, like we've done with Mekong Moments. Later on, also a website builder. You know, so we're integrating a website builder, a content distribution where your content and so your experience listings will be distributed to all the various platforms that we operate, like Mekong Moments, Mekong Minis, Mekong Deals, Mekong Memories. Also other ones that we're doing for partners. So we're about to launch Taste Thailand, which is a food platform for Thailand, inspiringlaos.com, and potentially other ones in the future. So being on Invoke, registered as a business, and then having your experiences associated with it. So if you're a hotel, you may have restaurants, bars, cooking classes, spas, and so on. These are all experiences connected to this hotel business. Will then provide you with the various opportunities. Now, how Mekong Memories works is that with Mekong Memories, you will be asking your past guests to share their past memories. You know, so very, very simple. So you would, you know, through your normal email communication or social media, say, hey, you know what, you stayed with us before. Please share maybe any photos and videos that you have on your phone and tag it with hashtag Mekong Memories, the destination, Thailand, Hua Hin, and then the hashtag of the business, let's say the family tree, you know. So then we would aggregate this content, and then we share that. We build a content cloud of these experiences, shared experiences, you know, on the internet, which inspires people to then travel later, or if they're domestic travelers, travel now. Now, also what's unique is that also then, if you're registered on Mekong and Invoke, you can also upload deals and offers in voucher format. So currently we start with voucher format, because later on we'll also open it up to other deals with hotels and spas and products and so on. But we're going to do vouchers first, because from a technical standpoint. And then if someone would share, so if Peter has asked his past guests, and let's say I was a past guest at the family tree, I share a picture, I tag it, like I just said, and then family tree has an offer, a deal out there. Then if, let's say, Ton sees my shared experience, my picture, then he would also see the deal, or could link over to the deal, and then buy that voucher, and that money obviously goes directly to the businesses and supports these businesses for later. So that's kind of our plan. I think it's very exciting. Again, we're going to open it up not just for Experience Mekong Collection members, but also to any business in the Mekong region. We want to have everyone engaged, because the more content that's being shared, the bigger the content cloud, and the more we will be able to help these businesses survive during this pandemic. So it's a very innovative, collaborative, and inclusive initiative. And what's unique is that I think nowhere in the world, no destination really has created a campaign where any business can really be part of an initiative like that. You know, so this is I'll turn it over to Garrett to tell you a little bit more about the timeline, and also how it works when it comes to signing up to Invoke, and what you can do now in the short term before we make Invoke registration available to everyone. Garrett?
Yeah, hi. Thanks, Jens. Can you hear me well? I'm outside right now.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
Great. Okay. So we have the two websites online, mekongmemories.com and mekongdeals.com. Mekong Memories is already aggregating all content, visual content with the Mekong Memories hashtag. It's not yet connecting it to the businesses, but it will do that shortly. On Mekong Deals right now, we only have one deal, which is by Kiri, by Yana. It's a tour, 3 legs trekking tour in Myanmar. Obviously, we want to have as many deals there as possible. However, at the end of the day, you will have to upload the deals through the central system. So there are some delays with the central system we are facing right now due to the development time and some challenges we had in the development. Nevertheless, you can just send us your vouchers and the information you have via email, and we will put them up for you. So we would recommend for now to make the deals as simple as possible. Let's say it's a stay, it's a tour, it's something to do, and it should have a considerable discount, at least 25%, to make it interesting on Mekong Deals. You can just send them to info@destinationmekong.com, and then we get in contact with you to upload them into the system. And later you will also be able to edit them. So Mekong Deals and Mekong Memories are both open for any business. However, in Mekong Deals, there will be a function to search only for deals by EMC members. So there's a filtering function. People can filter by country, they can sort by price, they can filter by category, by validity, and so on. And one of the category filters will be EMC, members only. So there's something exclusive we can offer there. And if you have very interesting things you can offer us, we can also talk about it a little bit more. We can create stories around it, and we can also boost them a little bit for EMC members, so they appear at the top of the page.
Okay.
That's it for now. So it's all there, all open. Right now, you can start sending us your deals, and we will put them up for you. I still have some deals from Willem. We still have to put those up. But tours in general, the more complex the tour is, the longer it takes to put it up. Just about how we go about putting them up, because as an example, a tour over several days that has.
Let's not do tours, Garrett, at this point. We'll just do vouchers.
Okay.
We'll just have vouchers at this point.
Yeah,
stays obviously.
Then let me just give you a background. Yeah, how we put up the vouchers. So if you send us a voucher, let's say, take an example of a hotel. Then what we do first, we put up the hotel as an experience in the system. So it appears on Mekong Moments already as an experience. And then we connect the deal to that experience. That means the deal will automatically also appear on Mekong Moments. And then with the hashtag, it also aggregates content to Mekong Moments. And connects back to the deal and connects back to the business, and it will also appear on Mekong Memories if you promote it. Yeah, if anyone then posts a post with hashtag Mekong Memories and the hotel hashtag, it will automatically be aggregated and connected.
Okay, so we'll send out an email to all experienced Mekong Collection members, but just to summarize very quickly. So right now the system is not open because it's very important that all businesses register online in the system, which is a bit delayed, as Garrett explained, but exclusively only for the launch partners, for Mekong Deals, Mekong Memories, and experienced Mekong Collection members. We make a huge exception that we allow people to email us the offers, and we will put it in the back end and connect it to the business and so on, because all experienced Mekong Collection businesses are already in the system. That was one of the benefits that we extended to all experienced Mekong Collection businesses, and experienced Mekong showcases get upgraded for 1 year automatically. So we will send out an email with all the instructions. It's at this point very easy, just to send us the deals, and the deals should only be vouchers, just because of the complexity of putting them in at this point. Later on, you can also put other experiences in there, you know, from stays to spa to restaurants to everything else. But now it can be basically anything, but it needs to be in voucher format. So I think that's it there. So I think it's very exciting. And right now, obviously, there is not a lot of stuff out there. It's very hard for people to find deals and these offers. So this will be helping not only consumers to find these deals, but also businesses to showcase their deals as well. Any questions or comments from anyone on the call?
Yes, Peter.
Sorry, guys. Yeah. I guess my biggest kind of question is that this idea is really ambitious. I mean, it's such a creative idea, and I mean, really appreciate all the thinking and the work that you guys are going into this. But essentially, our whole conversation seems to me still to be supply side, in that we're creating these products and ideas, but to actually get tourists to know about these ideas and this platform is a colossal marketing effort, right? And it would usually cost a lot of money. I mean, you think about the money that Agoda and Booking.com and these kinds of companies put into making their brand well known. So I'm interested, how we're going to get this Mekong platform, which is very, very cool, to be known by the consumer.
Yeah, that's a very good point. And this is obviously, we don't have the money that Expedia and Agoda and Booking and so on has. We wish we did, but we don't. So we need to be creative and innovative. And we've done it before quite successfully. I mean, let's say with Mekong Minis, we had over, I think, 2 million video views without any marketing budget. So the idea really is that each business, is actually promoting it. So each business is going to their past guests, and when travel resumes, also to their current guests, and promoting to share experiences, past experiences via Mekong Memories, and present experiences via Mekong Moments, right? Now then, these people put their experiences on their own social media, So Peter, you would put your picture at Ontai now at the Mulberry Farm on your own social media, let's say Instagram. Now all your followers see that, your 10 million followers that you have on Instagram will see this experience you have, and then they can click on it and then basically learn about, okay, Mekong Memories. Now when they go on Mekong Memories, then they're connected to the deals, right? So the thing is that really it's a collaborative marketing effort where we don't have to put in the millions of dollars in that normally these companies will do, but it will be that each business actually is promoting it. They're promoting it for themselves, but while they're promoting it for themselves, they're actually promoting it for the community, for the region, right? I mean, for EMC members particular, I mean, we took a page out of TripAdvisor, right? TripAdvisor does it brilliantly. You go to any business and you see a TripAdvisor sticker there, right? And people are like, wow, you know what? You're on TripAdvisor. So this is why we're starting to also send out EMC stickers. When people travel to the region, if you're a business in the collection, and people say, wow, you know, this Experience Mekong collection, I want to learn more about this, right? So again, I think it's a collaborative effort where, yes, I mean, it would be great to have a few $1 million to throw at it, but we don't. But we've tested it, and Mekong Minis and Mekong Moments is the best example that we're able to do it. But it only works if people participate, if if really people are part of it and engage, promote it, then it will work. If you sit there and say, well, this is great, I put I engaged by uploading my business, by registering on Invoke, but you don't promote it to your past guests. If I come to the family tree, I don't see, let's say, a poster or a sticker or a card there that says like, share your experience on Mekong Moments, you know, or I'm part of the Experience Mekong collection. If the businesses don't do that, it won't work, right? But if each business do it, just think about it. We have 300, let's say 300 Experience Mekong collection members. Each of them, we did a calculation, have around 20 customers per day on average. And that is a very conservative calculation. You know, some more, some less, but I mean, even that is very conservative. If you calculate that times 365, that's 2 million customers, right? So if these 2 million customers are exposed alone by EMC, the EMC brand, and let's say Mekong Memories, Mekong Deals, and so on, suddenly we have, you know, touched 2 million people within a year, right? And if you now go back to all your past guests, to your email databases and so on, this is how we can create this buzz. And this is where it's so unique from an inclusive and collaborative marketing standpoint, where this hasn't been done anywhere in the world. You know, if I'd be lazy and if I had $100 million, hey, I'd love to throw $100 million in it, but I need to be more creative because we just don't have it. But I think we can do it. And it also really builds the community of the Experience Mekong collection in this region. And this is what builds this Experience Mekong brand, and over time makes this region from a tourism standpoint stronger than anywhere else in the world. Any other questions, comments? Maybe Willem, if you're still there, because you've been part of the, as part of one of the launch partners. I'm not sure if Willem is still there.
He just left, yes.
He just left, okay, all right. Good, okay.
This is my Bangkok Airways bear, and it really, really, really wants to get traveling again. It's been extremely bored for the last 6 months, and it says that is a fantastic idea, okay? So there you go.
Has the bear shared the past experiences? Not yet.
We'll get the bear online in the next week, all right?
Great. Great. Okay, if there's nothing else, I'll turn it back to Ton to close this call. Thanks again for your participation. Wait for the emails. And again, I mean, if you all engage and you tell all your other fellow Experience Mekong collection members to engage as well, I think we can make a true difference and promote not only your business, but also the region as a whole. Ton?
Thank you, Jens. So I have one thing before we are closing the call. So basically the meeting will be recorded and then will be provided in the community. I'll put up in, and then you can be watching later on. So with that, before closing the call, so are there any questions? The last one. I saw in the chat that John Roberts, you wanna ask something before we close the call?
Not really. I guess it was just making sure that when you send the email out with the hashtags and everything, that you put how to use the hashtags and how they're supposed to be in clear guidelines in the email, which I'm sure you're going to do anyway, which is why I chatted it. And then I'll very, very happily push them out and aggregate stuff. Thank you very much for the initiative. It sounds great.
Great. No, yes, exactly. We will do that. Great.
Sure. If nothing else, so we will keep you in touch and we will send out the email regarding both and couple things that is in our conversation today. So with that, thank you very much for your time today, and we'll keep you posted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Cheers, everyone.
Bye.
Cheers.
See you guys. Lovely to see everybody. Keep the
Bye-bye.
spirit up, okay? We're gonna win, all right? Yeah.